Conor Gallagher finally leaves Chelsea. Atletico Madrid and Chelsea have agreed a £34 million transfer fee, and according to reports from Fabrizio Romano and other reporters, other transfer insiders, Conor Gallagher has verbally agreed to the move, and Chelsea and Atletico Madrid are working on details to finalize the deal. I would see the Chelsea Academy graduate, Conor Gallagher, head over to Atletico Madrid. Now, what are my thoughts on this? My thoughts are this is a win-win for all parties involved. Atletico Madrid, they get a very good player, a very good talent in Conor Gallagher. Conor Gallagher will be heading to a club that really wants him, a coach in Diego Simeone, that's his style, whose style of play will suit him to a T. High pressing, high energy, type of play will suit him to a T. So that's perfect in that regard. And for Chelsea, you get that £4 million in that you can have as pure profit that can go to PSR, FFP, and other sort of financial regulations to sort of make the accounting books look better. And also, this could also help fund the transfer for certain players or certain key parts aspects of the team that still need strengthening. For instance, you know what I'm going to say? Yes, I'm going to say the attack. The attack would help get Victor Osimhen over the line. Because from what we're getting is Napoli would be looking at 58, 60 million pounds, and in addition to Lukaku, to see Victor Osimhen move over to Chelsea. So this could help in that regard. So back to Conor Gallagher, so many people I know will be upset at this. There are a lot of people on social media who've been saying Conor Gallagher should not have left. The club should have kept him. He should have stayed. He wanted to fight for his place. Should have been allowed to stay. Now, the romantic part of a Chelsea fan would say, okay, that is okay. We want him to stay. We want this Chelsea academic graduate to play for the club and win title for the club. But when it has been made clear to you that you don't fit into the style of play of the manager, you don't fit into the style of play, of the coach, you don't fit into the tactical philosophy of the manager, then you should leave as a football player to enhance your career. Because one thing we forget as fans is when we watch football matches, we cheer when goals are scored, we cheer tackles, we cheer blocks and all that. We forget that these are professionals that, in addition to playing for your beloved football club, should be looking for their own best professional interest. So I think it's best for him professionally to go to a club that's competing for the league, the La Liga title every year. Though you always have Real Madrid and then Barcelona as favorites over them, but they are like the third favorites every year. You get to play in Champions League every year, and reports are you could be earning up to £200,000, including add-ons and bonuses every week, which I think that's a nice chunk of change for him to be taking home every week, and that's very good. So I think it's a win-win for everybody. And one thing is should be known: not every academic graduate would make it through to the first team. And a lot of clubs like to banter Chelsea, and many Chelsea fans fall for this, where they say, "Oh, where are your young players? You don't have your young players. You keep selling them off." How many of those young players, how many of those clubs can point to an academic graduate who has played for the team and captained the team? How many of them can actually do that? We've had Mount do that before he went to Manchester United. We've had Reece James do that, and then we had Conor Gallagher do that because Reece James was absent for the better part of last season, and we have Reece James now in situ in the team as the club captain. And one thing I've said in previous videos, and I've alluded to it as well in this video, is style makes games. If Gallagher was playing for a club, he would have been a mainstay. He would have been like the Henderson 2.0, can press, can crash into the box and get you goals. He would have been perfect, for what Klopp would have wanted to do. But when you have a coach in Enzo Maresca that wants to play possession style football, dominate possession 60, 70, and depending on how deep the low block of the opposition team is 80% possession. You need people who are excellent on the ball, very, very good on the ball, who keeping the ball is sort of their forte. And unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, when we look at it, Gallagher doesn't have that in his remit. No one player has everything. No one player. Even Lionel Messi is not doesn't have power. He can hold the ball on his chest and hold off a defender who's 6'3", 6'4". That's not his forte. Skillful, has pace, finishing, everything you would expect from a forward, but he doesn't have that power, he doesn't have that height, he doesn't have that physicality. So every player is deficient in one aspect or the other. And when a coach or when a manager wants to play in a certain way, if a player doesn't suit the way the manager wants to play, what do? You let him go. And as a club, you want to get something in return for the player. You don't want sort of what happened with Tony Rudiger to happen, where the player just runs out his contract and goes on a free, and the club gets nothing. So you don't want the sort of things to happen. So I think it's a win-win for everybody. It's good for Conor Gallagher, and hopefully he has the best career he can have. He can have there. Now, the second topic I want to talk about today is Marc Guiu. Marc Guiu, I'll just call him Marc, and made a statement, or reports have been making the rounds have been to the effect that Marc has rather made a statement to the effect that he's not certain if he would play um, in the first team with Chelsea or he would go on loan. But he's willing and ready to be part of the project. Now, that is nice to hear him say, and it's never good for a player to be unsure of his status as a team or in a club, but what can you do? And I like his mentality, I like his mindset. Now, if I had my way, Chelsea would have three strikers, and those three strikers would be Victor Osimhen, you guessed it, yeah, number one. Get him in, sign him. Napoli wants Lukaku. You've got Lukaku. You don't want Lukaku. You've got money from the Gallagher sales, so you can come up with £60 million plus Lukaku. You get Victor Osimhen in, and then you get Nicholas Jackson as the second striking option, and Marc Guiu as the third striking option. Because Marc Guiu, he's shown he can finish, he's shown, but to a large extent, he's shown that he can put the work off the ball, he can make those runs, he can pressure the opposition defense. In fact, that was one thing that was missing in the game versus Man City. Didn't have players that could really actually put the press. We missed that press on the opposition defense. That's why Calvin Phillips suddenly looked like a modern day Regen or Baresi. So, so that's what I feel in terms of strikers should be. And in some circumstances, you can even argue that Nicholas Jackson may end up on the left wing. So you have him and Mudrik as well as Sterling are the three left wing options. So and no arguments have some arguments, and people have had this notion that Nicholas Jackson is actually not an out and out striker, more like a supporting striker or a winger. While I think he can do both, I think having um, Victor Osimhen, having Nicholas Jackson, and then having Marc Guiu would be the best option. Would be the best option to have those three strikers, because you have the FA Cup, you have the Carabao Cup, you have the uh, you have the Carabao Cup, you have the Premier League as well. At least, even though some may say, okay, just can't win the league, but you're looking towards finishing or working towards finishing in the highest position possible, and then you have the Conference League. So in this season, you have a chance of winning three cups, finishing top four, three cups. This you need to have uh, um, strikers, and there's so much game time to go around to the strikers. So I think that will be fine. So Marc Guiu, I don't want him to be loaned because I think he has a lot to offer the team. So what are your thoughts on these various talking points? What are your thoughts on Gallagher? Are you very upset that he's leaving, or do you think, well, that was necessary evil rather than letting him live on the free transfer? you get what you can get from him and add it as pure profit on the accounting books, and then you can use that to sort of satisfy other areas. What do you think about Marc Guiu? Do you think, oh, he should go on loan and he's not ready yet for the big time, or you think he has something to contribute to this Chelsea team? So let me know in the comment section below. Meanwhile, while you're at that, please help me smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to click the notification bell so you're notified each time I put up a video. At this point, we've come to the end of the video. I say thanks for watching and do have a splendid rest of your day.